Joining me to talk about this a little more is Roland Martin. He's the host and managing editor of NewsOne Now. Roland, most secretaries of state, most politicians, and you have said to me that the problem in this country with voting is too little of it, not too much of it. We don't actually have a problem with a whole lot of dead people voting or people voting in multiple states. Best I can come up with is a handful of examples, per election. What is this about?
This is about pure politics. Russia is not the greatest threat to democracy in America. It is the Republican Party. I got lots of friends who are Republicans, lots of folks who are Democrats. I don't align with any party. But when you look at what Republicans are doing, not just with this commission, but what they have done over the last 10 years, it is clear voter suppression. You have Dale Schultz, a state senator, 30 years in Wisconsin, who said he now regrets what they did in voting for those measures in Wisconsin. He said he challenged, go to ProPublica, they just released it about last week. He challenged his fellow Republicans to say, give me examples of voter fraud. They couldn't. He found two, both involved Republicans. You had, of course, in 2012, a top Republican in Pennsylvania who said voter ID will elect Mitt Romney. When they got sued, the Attorney General filed paperwork with the court that said we have no proof of voter fraud. This is a fraud. Republicans in Maine, Iowa, North Carolina, which is the Alabama of the 21st century. Go to Mississippi, Texas, Florida. We can go on and on. This is the mantra of the Republican Party to suppress votes in order to win. It is shameful and despicable, Ali.
And part of this is being pushed by Chris Kobach, the Secretary of State for Kansas, who has tried to do this. This is him on, you're looking at on the screen. He has tried to do this. In fact, he used as proof an example of a man who he said had died a long time ago, but had voted on a recent election, and it turns out that the guy was very much alive, and it was his father who had died. I mean, this is just not proving to be a successful venture.
Greg Palast, the journalist, has been talking about this whole idea of cross-checking. And what they're doing is they're saying that if there's a Roland Martin in Texas and a Roland Martin in Michigan, oh, that must be the same person. So they're challenging it. In fact, Mother Jones has a piece about three conservatives, one from Virginia, one who Trump just put on this commission. What they're doing is they're sending legal notices to small towns in Mississippi who can't afford a legal battle saying, purge your rolls.
Right.
And you know what they're doing? They can't afford it. This is a part of the Republican strategy. Colin Powell called out the North Carolina governor a couple of years ago on this very issue. I have challenged black Republicans on my show to do it. And I'll give you this here. There was a guy named, his last name was Smith, of segregations in Virginia. He wouldn't even have a committee hearing, Ali, during civil rights movement. Bob Goodlatte, a Virginia congressman, won't have a single hearing on the issue of voter integrity in the House because he doesn't want to address it.
It really is a remarkable issue. But, good on the state's secretaries of state who've been pushing back on this. Roland, you and I have been talking about people voting and making it easier and better for people to vote, and then they have to take that responsibility and actually go out and cast those ballots, which we do a very bad job of in the United States, generally speaking. We do an okay job at the federal level. It's not really that good, but below that at the state level and municipal level.
That's where the problems are.
That's another discussion for us, Roland. Always good to see you, buddy. Roland Martin.